Please make sure you read the disclaimer. Hello beautiful people, so today, the Supreme Court essentially chose not to make a decision. Many of us were expecting an update, but instead, the US Supreme Court did not issue a ruling on President Trump's tariff case. This means the legal uncertainty we discussed yesterday is still very much unresolved. There are still two major risks on the table. First, there's the possibility that tariffs already collected could be refunded. Second, there's the potential loss of nearly $3 trillion in projected deficit reduction over the next decade. Until the court officially rules, the tariffs remain in place, but the markets are clearly in a waiting mode. This delay continues to extend short-term uncertainty around trade policy, government revenue, and the broader macroeconomic outlook. Because of this uncertainty, we're seeing it reflected in the markets. XRP initially moved up on the news, but shortly after we saw selling pressure return. That makes sense because the final decision is still coming. According to reports, the Supreme Court is expected to release a ruling on the legality of Trump's tariffs around January 14th. So what happened? The crypto market got excited, prices pushed higher, and then reality set in, leading to a pullback. Even though the price action hasn't been positive for XRP on this news so far, make sure you watch all the way to the end of this video because there's some very interesting news coming out of Ripple. It's not typical price action news, but it's important. Right now, XRP isn't reacting positively to the broader headlines, but we'll get to the Ripple news in just a moment. And yes, I know I'm slightly out of frame here, let me fix that real quick. There we go, a little magic for you. This is what happens when you're recording from a bomb shelter. You do what you've got to do. Ethereum is still holding above $3,000, but overall the crypto market seems unsure of its next move. After a few strong days, we've now had a few weaker ones. On the 4-hour chart, we could potentially see a crossover on the 13 and 48 EMA moving from green to red. Meanwhile, on the daily chart, we recently saw a crossover from the bottom to the top. So yes, it's a confusing environment right now. I saw someone mention today that earlier this year they were receiving a lot of marketing proposals from crypto firms. But over the past few days, as prices started to dip, those offers suddenly stopped. That tells you a lot. Many people react emotionally to price action. If you're a long-term investor, what's happening right now shouldn't be too alarming. But if you're day trading or swing trading, these moves are extremely important. That's why I've been saying don't over-leverage. We ran up and a pullback followed, just like we warned. As always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Also, remember, I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up for anything or send money. Those are scammers and impersonators. I shut some down every week, but they keep coming back, so stay alert. One more thing, President Trump has stated that he may use alternative tariff powers if the Supreme Court rules against him. So even if we do get a negative ruling on January 14th, that may not be the end of the story. There's also a community note pointing out that the Supreme Court doesn't announce in advance which opinions will be released, so we'll have to wait and see. What's interesting is that January 15th is when the Senate is expected to discuss the Clarity Act. That makes January 14th and 15th two very important days to watch, and they're coming up fast. Now let's talk about Ripple. Ripple has officially secured approval for both an EMI license and crypto asset registration from the UK's Financial Conduct Authority. Stuart Alderuddy commented that this is another major step forward, highlighting Ripple's continued global licensing momentum. He emphasized that meeting the FCA's strict standards is a strong signal for the UK's digital asset industry, and positions Ripple to scale its payment solutions for UK financial institutions. Ripple continues to expand partnerships and open new use cases for XRP and the XRP ledger. For those of you watching from the UK, this is big news. Let me know in the comments what you think. Does this matter to you? Is it a game changer or not? And that's not all. Ripple also announced that its partners at BNY have launched tokenized deposit services for institutional clients, bringing digital assets directly into traditional banking systems. Ripple is an early adopter through Ripple Prime, and BNY remains the primary reserve custodian for RLUSD. Together, they're helping bridge traditional finance and digital markets. So today alone, we got two major developments: increased tokenization and expanded regulatory licensing for Ripple. It's important to remember that just a year to a year and a half ago, many countries didn't want anything to do with Ripple or XRP because of the SEC situation. When the US applies pressure, other countries often follow. Now, we're in a completely different environment. The price reflects that too. XRP is roughly 4 times higher than it was back then when we were sitting around 40 to 50 cents. Not many people remember those days. Back then, XRP videos might get a few thousand views. Now, depending on price action, we're seeing anywhere from 10,000 to 50,000 views per video. It'll be very interesting to see how the market behaves over the coming days. We started the month strong, then hit the brakes, which honestly didn't surprise me. Some creators were already calling for triple-digit prices, but I'm trying to stay realistic. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. Drop an 8 in the comments for infinity and beyond, and don't forget to hit the like button. Let's aim for 1,000 likes. Yesterday's video had massive views but nowhere near enough likes. I know you can do better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.